This QDS video will show you how to import and work with data collected with QDS-Web in the Warehouse Manager. As a QDS-Web survey is administered, data are automatically saved within a secure relational database management system that you will import into the Warehouse Manager. QDS-Web data files are saved as shipment or .qtd files. The naming convention consists of the survey name plus the current date plus the current time of day plus QTD. The short date format is based upon the current Windows system locale. For example, the file name convention would be as follows for the three locales in the US, Australia, and South Africa. For interviews named My Survey that were imported into the Warehouse Manager on October the 15th, 2012 at 10:38:40, these would be the resulting names. You will use the QDS Warehouse Manager module to import your QDS-Web data. After opening the Warehouse Manager, you will first need to create a new warehouse for your data. Keep in mind that you don't need to create it ahead of time because empty warehouses are not saved. So, go to File, New Warehouse, and you'll enter your file name in the file name box, and then you'll click Open. You will first see an empty warehouse. To import your web data, go to File, Import on the main menu. The Import from Web Service dialog box will open. First, you'll enter the URL for the QDS data service. This is provided to you by your QDS technical representative, as well as your username and password. After you've completed entering those, you'll select List Surveys from the box on the right. After you select the survey for the data you would like to import, this will enable the Import button and the Options box. Note that in the Options box, the default is to get all interviews for your selected survey. If that is your choice, you can select the Import button. If you would prefer to import a subset of interviews based on date, select the Get Only Those Run Since Radio button. This will open up a calendar interface where you can select your date. Note that today's date is selected for reference. After making your selection, select the Import button. When complete, the web data import file will open in a new window and display all the interviews collected in the time frame that you selected. You can now follow the same process for copying these interviews to the local warehouse as you would for other types of QDS data files. To transfer interviews from your QDS data file to the warehouse, first select the interviews. To select all interviews, you can go to Edit, Select All, or alternately, you can select a subset with the Shift and Control keys. To move the interviews to your local warehouse, you can go to Edit, Copy to Warehouse, or you could have simply drag and dropped them with the mouse. You will now see that the status of these interviews has changed to Transferred in the data window, and your interviews are now also located in the local warehouse. You can then go ahead and close the web data file. And be sure to save so that the status change is preserved. Note, if the Warehouse Manager had detected that a duplicate interview was added to the warehouse according to the subject identifiers, a dialog box would pop up giving you a choice of replacing or keeping both. In the local warehouse, the bar shows you columns for status, version, date recorded, subject identifier, the date in, which was added to the warehouse. There's also a column for date out, if it shipped from the warehouse, or change date if data was modified. To view your collected data, just double-click on the interview that you would like to open. The Interview tab will give you date and version information. You can go to the Variables tab to see a list of variable names, labels, and responses, and then click OK when you are done. To modify collected data, go to Edit, Details, or you can select the Modify button from the toolbar. By default, you will first be asked for your name or initials. This will be included in the data corrections log. After you've entered that, click OK to continue. The Interview Details dialog box will open to the Variables tab. Here you can double-click on any variable that you might wish to change. If you do make a modification, the default settings require you to enter a reason for change. To exit without making changes, as we'll go ahead and do here, go ahead and click Cancel, and OK again to return to the local warehouse. When you are ready to export your data, you'll go to File, Export Interviews. The Save As dialog box will open. First, you'll need to enter a name in the file name box. Then you'll select the type of file you would like to export to in the Save As type box. You can export to SPSS, STATA, SAS, MS Access, ASCII text file, or you can also export the interview comments log. If you wanted to export just a subset of variables, you would also select that option here. If you would like to change any export options, select the Options button in the lower right-hand corner. It is often useful to recode your specified values. So, for SPSS, you can select the Recode to Specified Values to recode to the suggested values on the right, or you can input your own values. There are similar options for SAS, STATA, MS Access, or ASCII text file. Once you have completed your changes, click OK and then click Save. The Warehouse Manager will report how many interviews have been exported to your file. Keep in mind that only standard version interviews will be exported. To learn more about QDS data management and working in the Warehouse Manager, see QDS Online Help and other Warehouse Manager videos.